Alright, so bank reconciliation. Let's look at the question that I've created for you. Okay, bank reconciliation, example number 1. Okay, so the task in this particular question is to reconcile for the month of June.
Okay.
Alright, so I need to have a look at what information has the question given me. Right, and depending on what type of question they give you in the exam, remember, it can either be given like this in terms of source documents, or it can be given in terms of words. Right, it's actually easier if it's in English, because then they tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
Right, the examiner will say, there is a discrepancy with the bank statement and our records. Okay, this amount for this particular deposit does not reflect. Okay, and then it's simple to do. Okay, here, this is the process of how to do it. Okay, why? We've got all the documents. We need to now think about what actually happened. Okay, so we need to determine for ourselves, okay, do we have an amount? Where is it reflecting? Is it reflecting in our books or their books?
Gotcha.
Okay. Right, so what is the first bit? It's the reconciliation statement for May. Is that important?
Yeah.
Yes, why?
It shows you what was done for the month before the May.
Exactly. Okay, this is last month's recon. Okay, so how often did we say we get a bank statement?
Once a month.
Monthly. So every month I'm going to have to do what?
A
reconciliation. Okay, I'm going to have to check what I have in my books compared to what I have in their books. Right, so last month, what balance did we have on the bank statement?
26,000.
Yes. And what is that amount? Good or bad?
Oh, if it's on the bank statement, then it's negative, yeah? Unfavorable.
If it's on the bank statement, it's unfavorable.
Yeah.
Right, see, that's important. Okay, because you've applied the theory. Right, so what account balance do you want to see in your bank statement? Debit or credit?
Credit, because it means I owe you, right?
Yes. Okay, you want to see a credit because it's a liability for the bank. It's an asset for the business.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so last month, did all our checks go through?
No.
No. So what does that mean? Last month, in the month of May, I wrote out several checks. Okay. There were 3 checks that didn't go through. What does that mean? I've given it to a supplier that I was supposed to pay, but the supplier hasn't deposited the check. Okay, checks aren't really used in today's world, okay, because everything is done electronically. How
do you know if it's checks that were supposed to be written to you and not checks that you wrote to someone else?
No, you are writing checks to someone else.
Yeah, but how do you know that those checks weren't coming to you?
Then that wouldn't be a check, it would be a deposit.
But if you haven't deposited it yet?
Then it would be an outstanding deposit.
Okay,
a check that you've received that you haven't deposited
so
would still be an outstanding deposit. Okay, an outstanding check means what? Remember, whose records?
Banks.
The business. Okay, because this is the bank recon.
Oh, okay, business.
Okay, the business does the recon. The bank doesn't care about your recon. Right, the bank only cares about their bank statements. Why? The bank statement is the bank's records. Okay, so this is whose records? The business.
Business,
okay, business. Alright, so the business has done a recon last month. They've looked at checks. These checks are outstanding. What does that mean? It means that they've issued payments that haven't gone through. Right, so if they haven't gone through, is your bank account too high or too low?
Too low.
It's too high, because when those checks do go through, what's going to happen? Your bank account's going to come down.
Got you.
Alright, so what must we do? We need to process those as debits. Why? They're outstanding checks. Okay, so outstanding checks mean the balance that I actually see, this debit balance that I see on my account, is that debit balance too high or too low?
Too high, right?
It's too high because those checks are still going to go through. Right, I've still got 3 outstanding checks that need to go off.
An outstanding check, what is that? Isn't it like a liability or?
An outstanding check is a timing difference. It's neither an asset, liability, income, expense. It's just a timing difference. Okay, it's a difference in terms of what you have in your books compared to what the bank has in theirs. Right, then if I have an outstanding deposit, if you deposit on the last day of the month, is that account going to reflect that deposit?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay, it's probably going to take 24 hours to clear.
Okay.
Right, or longer depending on how inefficient the bank systems are.
Okay.
Okay, but all deposits need to take time to clear. Right, so if I deposit literally before the branch closes on the last day of the month, that account is not going to reflect that account balance in terms of a deposit. So is an outstanding deposit good or bad? It's bad because the current balance is too high or too low. It's too low.
Because you need more.
Okay, because there's a deposit that I've made that hasn't gone through. Right, so when it does go through, what's going to happen to my account?
It's going to increase.
It's going to go up.
Oh, that's why it's on the credit side because the bank.
And that's why you credit the account. Okay, and then there could be errors. Last month we had an error. This error could have been for anything. Okay, but what happened? The bank didn't do what?
Didn't give us the money. No, they didn't take off the money.
Yes, they gave us something that wasn't part of the businesses. Okay, that could have been a bank error in terms of an incorrect deposit. Okay, so maybe the numbers were different. Okay, maybe let's say someone else completely separate from the business, by accident they typed in the wrong account number. Maybe the one digit was out, and now money came to your account rather than someone else's. Are you entitled to that? No. Okay, so the bank made an error. Okay, so they've deposited money in your account which doesn't belong to you. That's an error that the bank will have to rectify. Right, and errors could be either or. It could be a debit or a credit. There's no hard and fast rule for that. Okay, and then obviously the balance as per the bank general ledger account, okay, which is the last item, is this. Is this important?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's credited.
And why else? What month is this?
The last month.
May.
Yeah.
So last month's bank balance is what? This month's opening balance.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was May. So do you agree May was last month?
Yeah.
Okay. May is last month, June is this month. So what am I going to start June with?
The debit balance.
The 37,167,7, the credit balance.
Credit balance.
Okay, why? Whose books is that?
The businesses.
The business's books. Okay, so there's an easy mark that we can get already, okay, in our solution. Okay, so let's create a solution for this particular account. Okay, so
can I quickly ask?
Yeah.
The fact that it's credited in the bank reconciliation statement, that means that the bank owes it to us still?
It's credit, meaning we have a liability.
So
because whose records is that?
This is the businesses.
It's the businesses, exactly. Okay, so if it's the business's records.
But the outstanding deposit, that's still what the bank owes you, right?
The outstanding deposit, that's a line item from last month.
Yeah, so isn't that what the bank owes you? Because
it's an outstanding deposit. The bank doesn't owe you that.
Well,
it just doesn't reflect in your account. That's all it is. Okay, it's a timing difference. Okay, because what did we say happened last month? You deposited an amount of money that the bank hasn't cleared yet.
Okay. So if it's on the credit, it hasn't reflected yet in a sense. It's not in your account, or it's like.
Okay, we're putting it on the credit because this is what the bank will do in the future.
Oh, okay.
Because we're looking at what happens now. Okay, we're looking at May. That was May. That was last month. Okay, we still need to look at this month. All right, so what do I need for a question looking at bank recon? Okay, I wrote it down last time. Okay, bank reconciliation statement, journals, and general ledger. All right, so we've got two things: internal records. And we've got external records. Right, and they're completely separate. All right, so I'm going to write down the cash receipts journal. Okay, and in testing exams, they're not going to ask for more than details and bank. That's it. All right, so details and bank. Okay, just 2 columns. That's all we're going to need. Right, and then we'll have the same thing for cash payments.
Lift the screen up possibly. Yeah, that's better, thank you.
Payments. Okay, so you've got receipts and you've got payments. Right, remember, what do receipts do to our account?
Increase.
Correct. And what do receipts, payments do to our account?
Decrease.
Decrease. Okay. And then what else will we have in terms of internal records?
What you say yesterday, journal entries, right?
The journal, the general journal, yeah. Well, the
general
journal would be a journal. So
yeah.
I've just grouped it as receipts and payments.
Okay.
Okay, but you'll have a general ledger. Okay, and what will the general ledger have? A T account.
Yeah.
Okay, and what does the bank T account look like? Debit side and credit side, that's all. Okay, so let's draw up a little account for that. Okay, debit and credit side. Bank. Right, and whose books are those?
Businesses.
The business's books. Right, remember, internal records are separate from external records. Okay, undo, external. Okay, so external records, whose books are we looking at? The bank's. Okay, because we get the bank statement from the bank.
Okay.
Right, so this will be the bank recon reconciliation statement. Okay, and what does a bank reconciliation statement look like? 2 columns, one for the debit and one for the credit.
Is this how we're going about answering it, yeah?
Yeah, this would be the answer, the solution.
Okay. Is there any way to do it in terms of combining it into one journal as opposed to separating them into payments and receipts?
No, you'd have to keep it separate. Okay, because receipts are different from payments.
Yeah.
Right, if you want to do general journal, then you would just have this. You would have debit, credit, debit, credit, debit, credit for everything.
Yeah.
Alright, but then you'd have to add up all the separate amounts together.
Yeah.
Okay, here I'm grouping it as one. Alright, so the bank reconciliation statement will have a debit and a credit. Okay, what did we say we can't change?
Bank statement.
Balance as per the bank statement. Right, I can't change the bank statement. Okay, what the bank statement says I have in the bank account is what the bank says I have in the bank account. Alright, so let's go back to our question. Okay, we've looked at the bank recon. We know this is the balance where? For May.
May.
Okay, May's balance would be the opening balance for June. Right, so where's this 31,167 going to go?
In your bank statement for June, right?
No, in the general ledger. Because whose records?
Business.
The business. Alright, so is this favorable or unfavorable?
Favorable, no?
It's credit.
So unfavorable.
It's unfavorable. Why? Whose books?
Business.
The business's books.
Then why was this one unfavorable? I'm confused then.
That was different. That was the bank statement. Bank statement.
Oh, this is the general ledger account. Got you.
Okay. Alright, so this is May's balance, which is the opening for June.
Yeah.
Alright, so you'll have the balance brought down, and we'll have the amount that we saw here. 31,167,70. 37 actually. Yeah, 37. 37,167,70. Okay, that's the balance that I've got there. Okay, so now we need to go through the process. So again, as I said, this is a question where I've given you the source documents and we're doing the checking. That would be like an auditor's role. The auditor's role would be to check source documents and to make sure that the source documents are in line with the statements. Okay, so we need to now look at what we've got. Okay, so did these checks go through this month? Because they didn't go through last month. So now I need to check if they've gone through this month. Where would I check that? How would I know if those amounts have gone through or not?
Bank statement, though.
Exactly. Okay, so let's go to the bank statement and look at the bank statement. Do we see checks that have gone through? Yes, there's check number 94. Okay.
Oh, is that just the ones that say the numbers?
Yeah, I've just got the number there, 94. Alright, so depending on the level of detail, obviously some bank statements are more detailed than others. Okay, here I've just given the number 94. Okay, so what is number 94? There's number 94.
Yeah.
Right, so has that check gone through?
No.
It didn't go through last month. Has it gone through this month?
Well, it's debited again, so no, right?
Whose books is this?
Oh, that's the bank. Oh, this is the bank, so yeah, it did go through. Sorry, I was reading the same thing.
Okay, so the May statement is what? Last month's recon.
Yeah.
Did I have 3 checks that were outstanding?
Yeah.
Yes. That was last month. Has the check gone through this month?
Yeah.
So what do?
Well,
I tick that, and I go to my bank statement, and I tick that, because that's gone through.
okay.
Right, so are our records in this correct?
Yes.
Right, so let's go back. Check number 13 and check number 78. Has that gone through this month?
No.
So what is that?
Another.
It's still a reconciling item.
Yeah.
Right, and it'll be reconciling every single year until something happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would then asterisk or highlight those two. Why? They're possible reconciling items. Okay, there might be additional information relating to them. Okay, but we need to make a note that those are 2 checks to look out for.
It didn't go through.
Okay. Did this deposit go through? Last month it didn't. Did it go through this month?
001. Is there any numbers, or is it just deposit? Must I just look for the amount?
Well, look at the bank statement and look at that.
291. Yeah, I did it.
Did it go through?
Well, there's the 291 on there.
No, that's the bank error. We look at the bank deposit.
Oh, number 001. No, it didn't. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong figure. I was looking at that one. Yeah, I did.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay, so last month it was reconciling. Is it reconciling this month? No, it's gone through. So I'm going to tick that amount, 2038, and I'm going to tick this amount. Are your books and their books correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let's go back. Last month the bank had an error. Did the bank fix the mistake?
Bank error. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
Correct. So what do? We tick this, the correction of the error.
Okay.
Right, because last month there was a discrepancy with what we had and what they had.
Yeah.
Who made the mistake?
They did.
The bank. The bank needs to fix it.
Okay, so they.
Right, so the bank statement will show the fixing of the error.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, let's go back. Have I looked at the reconciliation? Yes, I have. Okay, so the only 2 accounts that I've highlighted are those 2.
Yeah.
Okay, those are key. Why? I'm going to have to come back to them later.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, now I need to look at the check counterfoil. Whose records is this?
No idea.
Who would keep the counterfoil?
What is the counterfoil?
The counterfoil is the little proof that you've issued a check.
Oh, the business.
The business, exactly. Right, so the business would keep the proof of all the payments. So what is this showing you? This is showing you payments that who has made?
Business.
The business. Okay, so what do we need to do with these payments? We need to check if they've gone through the bank. Right, so how do I check that? How do I check that? I need to look at the...
You need to look at the statement as well.
I need to look at the statement. Okay, so if I look at the first check,
Yeah.
check number 130 for 4286, has that check gone through this month?
Yeah.
Is it there?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. What do?
Tick.
I tick that amount and I tick this amount. Okay, has the next check gone through? Has check 131 gone through?
Yeah.
Right, so I tick that amount and I tick that amount. Okay, next check. 132, has that check gone through?
Yeah.
Tick that amount. Where do you see it? I don't see it.
Oh.
The amount's different.
Yeah.
Okay, it's there, but what's wrong with the figure?
They're different.
They're different. Okay, so what must we do? Highlights. Okay, NB. Yes, the check went through, but it went through at what amount?
A lower amount than it should.
Okay, so now whose books are correct?
Ours would be, right?
Not always. We need to look at the dish information. Okay, so what does the dish information say? Well, here's the dish information. Do you see anything about check number 132?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Bank has recorded it at the wrong amount.
Okay, so whose books are correct?
Ours.
Okay, so if our books are correct, whose books are incorrect?
The bank. So it must go on the bank.
So adjust to reconcile.
Yeah. Reconcile, no?
Reconcile. Okay, bank error. Okay, so bank error. Incorrect check.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to the reconciliation statement? Well, how much was the payment that we've processed?
2378.
2378.50.
Yeah.
What was the payment that the bank has processed?
2177.
21775. The bank has recorded a check at the incorrect amount. Okay, so the bank is going to correct that amount. What are they going to do to the bank statement?
They're going to increase it by the difference, no?
Yeah, they're going to increase it by the difference. Okay, so what is the difference?
Let's see. 201.
201.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is 201 going to go? Debit or credit?
This is in the bank's records, right? So credit, because they don't have to pay you.
No. What amount are they showing? They're showing a debit of how much?
2177.
How much should the debit have been?
2378.
So what must they do?
So they're going to increase the debit.
Make the debit bigger.
Yeah.
By 201.
1.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Right, next bit. Debtor Godfrey. No, service fee.
Yeah. Are we still doing the checks or not?
We'll still do the checks. Okay, let's keep on the checks and then we'll go back to this. Okay, so 133, do you see it?
Yep.
Okay, so tick that. 134?
Yeah.
Okay, 4215, 4215. I see it, but I see 2.
Yeah.
Is that a mistake? Should you see 2 checks for the same amount?
No.
No. So who made a mistake?
Bank, right?
The bank. Alright, so if I look at the dish information, I have a note here. What happened?
This is for check 134 was incorrectly debited twice.
Yes, there's the answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so who made the mistake?
Bank, sorry.
Just to reconcile.
Reconcile, right?
Reconcile. Alright, so the bank has incorrectly processed the same check twice. Debit or credit?
Wouldn't I have to remove the amount to credit it?
Yes. Credit, why? They've taken an amount off twice.
Yeah.
So the bank's going to apologize and give you back the 4215. Okay.
Okay.
Right, next one.
135 is there.
Is 135 there? Is it the right amount?
114.89, yep.
Next one.
Yep.
Next one.
The only ones that aren't there were 38 and 39.
Okay. Right, so you've got these two. Are they reflecting?
No.
No. So what are these amounts then? Ooh.
They are outstanding checks, no?
Yes. Why?
Because they haven't reflected in the account check.
Correct. Okay, so who made the mistake?
Us. So we got to
No.
But if they haven't reflected, should we have not recorded them yet?
Okay, whose books are these?
This is the businesses, yeah?
Has the business recorded it?
Yes.
Yes. Has the bank?
No.
Adjust, reconcile.
Okay, reconcile.
Yes. Okay, so heading here, outstanding checks. Right, number 138 and number.
So will outstanding checks always be a reconciliation if there's an issue with them?
Yes, an outstanding check will always be a reconciling item. Why? Because the bank hasn't processed those checks.
Oh, it's the bank's fault they haven't processed them. Got you. Okay. But what happens if you've issued it to a supplier and the supplier hasn't?
Then it's still an outstanding check.
Okay. But it's not really the bank's fault if the supplier hasn't taken it to the bank.
It's not the bank's fault, but it's a reconciling item because the bank hasn't shown it yet.
Okay.
Okay, it could be the supplier's fault for not depositing the check. Okay, why the supplier wouldn't deposit the check, who knows?
Okay.
Okay, but it's outstanding. Okay, and it'll always be outstanding until we see it.
Okay.
Okay, the amounts 56178. 178. Okay, and those are two outstanding checks. Okay, next bit. We've looked at all of that now.
Yes.
Okay, where is this going to go? What is that?
That's however many checks you...
That's your payments.
Payment, yeah.
All right,
so... Your journal.
Yes. Okay, your journals in terms of totals. Okay, total payments currently. $27,369. 27,369.
Comma 33.
Yeah. Okay, what is that? That's the current amount of payment that we've made. Okay, in whose records?
Business.
The businesses. Right, let's look at the deposits. Has deposit 1 gone through?
Deposit 18936, yeah.
Okay, so ticket, check the amount. It is the same, so that's fine. Has 2 gone through?
Deposit 136.84. Yes.
Ticket. Has 3 gone through?
Yep.
Same amount?
Yeah.
Okay, ticket. Has 4 gone through?
In an incorrect amount.
4 has gone through, but?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Okay, so I'm circling that one, and I'm circling that one there. Right, and I look at the dish information. What does the dish information say? There's point number 3. The deposit number 4 was credited on the bank statement on 19 June at the correct amount. So whose books is correct?
Bank.
Whose books are incorrect?
Ours.
So do we adjust or reconcile?
Adjust.
We adjust. Okay, what are we going to do to the account? Make it bigger or smaller?
We've got to make ours bigger, right?
Okay, so how do we make the deposit bigger?
You don't debit it, you credit it, right?
I'd have to process what? Okay, how much is the difference? 400, do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so what have I recorded?
5039.
Too much or too little?
Too little.
I've recorded too little, so how do I make that more?
Oh, you got to debit it.
I make it bigger, yes. Okay, so the current total, again we'll have total currently. Okay, and the receipts currently are, let's put that amount in, there's it, 10321, 10321, 0.03.
And that's the total payments we've received.
That's everything that we've received, that we've recorded in our books currently. Okay, remember, our books may need to change based on what the bank has provided for.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just looked at an error. Who made the mistake?
We did.
The business. Okay, so incorrect deposit.
Okay.
400. Makes sense.
When are these journals done? At the end of the month?
These are journals that are fixed. Okay, so that will be done Monthly, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And are these given to you also at the end of the month, yeah?
Well, that's what you would currently have in your books.
Okay.
Okay. Right, this one, number 5.
It's not on here, is it?
Do you see in the bank statement?
No.
No. Okay, so what is that?
Adjustment. No, a reconciliation, yeah?
Yes. Okay, so I need to highlight those. Have those 2 gone through? No. Have I deposited the funds?
Yes.
Yes. So who made the mistake?
Bank.
The bank. Okay, so another heading here. Skip a few lines just in case. Outstanding deposits.
Okay.
Okay, number 5. Number 6. Debit or credit?
You need to, in the bank you're saying?
In the reconciliation statement.
It needs to be debited, right? No, credited.
Which one?
Credited.
Why?
Because, oh, I knew there are deposits firstly. So the bank, you've got too much money, right? So the bank needs
You've
to
got too little.
Too little. Oh yeah, that's your payments, of course. You've got too little, so yeah, it has to come into your account.
So those deposits are going to be deposited in the future.
Yeah.
And it'll be cleared by the bank. So what will happen to our account?
So increase.
And how do I increase the bank statement?
Credit it, because you'll debit your account.
Credit, yes. Okay, so 16780 and 34500. Right. So what is that? Outstanding deposits.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've looked at that. Complete now.
Yeah.
Right, the last bit is to look at the dish information and the bank statement for the month.
Okay.
Okay, so if I look at the bank statement, have I ticked everything?
Most things.
No, I haven't ticked everything. What is this?
Service fee.
Have I ticked that?
No.
No. So what is that? That's an item appearing where?
In the bank statement and not in our records.
So just reconcile.
Adjust.
Adjust. Why? The bank has processed this. That's correct. The service fee isn't incorrect.
Yeah.
So adjust, reconcile.
Adjust.
Adjust. Okay, so adjust is on the left because we can adjust our records.
Yes.
And we reconcile on the right. Okay, so a bank charge would be what? A receipt or a payment?
Bank charge will be a payment.
Okay. And the amount? 567.
Yes.
Right, what else do you see in the bank statement that wasn't ticked?
The net debtor Godfrey.
Okay, so what is that? When would you see a debtor on your bank statement?
If they've paid you, right?
Yes, direct deposit.
Yeah.
Okay, would a direct deposit be recorded in our books?
No.
No. So whose books are correct?
Banks.
Adjust, reconcile.
Just.
18,000, Godfrey.
Okay, this makes sense.
Right, what amount do you see next?
The cash handling fee.
What is that?
That is.
It's a bank charge.
Okay.
Adjust to reconcile.
Adjust it.
Okay, where do we put it?
You have to pay it, so the cash payments.
Exactly. Okay, what is the amount? 160. Right, next amount. This we looked at. Okay, so we can actually tick that. This was an error.
Yeah.
Okay, RD check. What is that?
No idea.
That's a dishonored check. Okay, so do you agree sometimes checks are issued and they never ever go through? Why not? Because of a host of different reasons. There could be insufficient funds, there could be errors on the check. Right, so a dishonored check is what? A receipt or a payment that you have.
It would be a payment, right?
A payment by who?
By you, no?
No, by the debtor. So the debtor has given you a check. What do you then do?
Oh, so just on a
You
check is always
deposit the check into the bank.
Okay.
Does that check go through?
No.
No. So this is for a check that you deposited that hasn't been cleared.
So just on a check is always
a debtor has given you a check. So there's point number 4. Okay, return to drawer. Why? The debtor actually wrote out a check that wasn't
correct or going through.
Yeah, that didn't go through. Okay, so dishonoured checks always go here. Cash payments, because you would have received the money initially. Check dishonoured. Check RD. Okay, and the amount?
770.
Yes. No?
7,700.
Yeah. Okay. Right, next one.
Clark CC.
What is that? Payment or receipt. It's on the bank statement. It's a debit or credit.
Credit, so it's a receipt, right?
Yes. Okay, you received money from Clark.
Yeah.
We need to look for additional information. Here's additional information. Do we see anything about Clark? We see a date here.
Yeah.
We see services rendered here.
Okay.
Okay, so the 7th we've done. We've looked at this. This was for the Godfrey.
Oh, these are the dates on the side.
Yeah, the dates on the side. Okay, so then here we've got another direct deposit for services rendered. There's the key. That's for Clark.
How would you know that?
Okay, because that's the only receipt that you've got here that there isn't any information about it. Okay. Alright, so remember, you won't know what has given you. Hopefully Clark has sent us a proof of payment to show that there has been a deposit. Okay. So Clark is reflecting in this business's account 15.3, which is a receipt for services rendered.
Okay.
Okay, what else?
Account management fee.
What is that?
It's payment, no?
Payments. Okay, the management fee was how much? 258.
Yeah.
Right, what else?
Wayne Inc.
Okay, Wayne Inc. What is that?
A check for Wayne Inc. So, it was incorrectly debited to our account. So does that mean that somebody wrote a check to that person and it came to our account instead of the other person's?
Yes, so?
Need to credit it, right? Or debit it?
Yes, bank error. Good. Okay, so another bank error. Bank error. Bracket incorrect debit. Okay, so whose check is this? Wayne's.
Yeah.
But it was credited to ours.
Okay.
Alright, so 3,150 credit. Right, what else do we see here?
Interest on overdraft.
What is that?
You've got an unfavorable bank balance, right?
Receipt or payment?
Payment.
Just reconcile.
Just.
Good. Okay, 120. Interest on overdraft. Okay, and the amount here was 120.
Yeah.
Right, Telcom. What is that?
It's the amount you owe them, right?
Amount that you've paid them. Whose books are correct?
Banks.
Just reconcile.
Just. Payments.
Correct. Okay, this was for what? Telcom, probably telephone. Yeah, telephone line, debit order. Okay, so.
this is a debit order, okay. And then the same thing with SARS, right?
Yes. Okay, and then the last one, that was an amount that was paid. Okay, 11,234. SARS. Okay. Alright, so now you've done everything. You've checked everything.
Yeah.
Okay, is this balance important?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it doesn't go through to the next month again.
Because I can't change it.
Yeah.
What balance do I see in my bank account?
That's that balance we're looking at?
Bank account.
Oh.
Bank statement. Bank account, bank statement.
Yeah. You see trade 7-1, no?
Favorable, unfavorable.
Oh, no, it's favorable, of course.
Okay, so if it's favorable, debit or credit?
On our books, you're debited, right?
Remember?
Oh, this is favorable on the bank, so you credit, so it's unfavorable for us, right?
It's favorable for us. It's unfavorable for the bank.
Okay. So wait. Oh, okay. Because, of course.
Because whose books is this?
Yeah. So then, don't you still debit it in our account because the bank has to pay it to you?
You don't debit it in your account because that's not your records.
Yeah.
What records do you have? Your own. That's
so you're
the
talking
balance.
about the bank general ledger now, okay?
Okay.
So
We're talking about the bank statements.
Okay, but why do you want to know if this is debited or credited for?
Because we need to record that here.
Oh, in the reconciliation. Oh, okay. So it'd be credited, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking about our records.
All right. Because those records, can you change what you see there?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2871 will be what I start with there.
Okay.
Okay, because this cannot change.
Yes.
Right, that's the bank reconciliation process. It's reconcile what you have to what you have there.
Okay.
Okay. Do you agree I've added up all my receipts and payments? So I could total up here. Sum up all of that. Okay, and if I sum up all of that, I get that total.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do the same thing there. Sum up all of that.
Yes.
Alright, so where do these totals go?
In the bank.
In the bank accounts. Okay, so total receipts and total payments. Okay, the receipts are that amount, the payments are that amount. Okay, so how would I balance this account? Which side's bigger?
The right.
Okay, so
wait, is it the right?
That's one amount. If I add up those two, I get that 89.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
no, but that's still bigger because it's 136.
Yes, that is bigger.
Yeah.
So you want that on both sides.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, and in the balancing figure, balance carried down is what?
Whatever the difference is between that and that.
Exactly. This minus that minus that. Okay, and that's the balance that I'm going to have
carried forward.
Balance at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So 30th of June.
Okay.
Balance brought down.
Makes sense.
Okay, that's the balance that I want to see where? On the bank statement.
Yeah.
What balance do I see on the bank statement?
2871.
Okay, are they reconciling?
No.
No. Internal records are showing you that. External records are showing you this. So, I need to take all of that into consideration.
Oh, so you haven't...
Okay. Alright, so going back to the question, we've looked at all the internal records. We didn't look at this, 13 and 78.
Yeah.
Okay. Additional information. Check 13 is now still must be cancelled. Ooh, there's a point. Okay, what must I do to check 13?
Just write it off.
How do I cancel a check that I've issued?
If you've issued it, you would have credited your bank, right? So you would have to debit your bank.
Exactly, good. Okay, so here I need to put a stale check. Cancelled.
Can
right.
you... Afterwards I want to ask you about how I can... because they ask us the format very differently in terms of wording, in terms of everything.
Okay, we'll check that just now. Okay, 2100.
Yeah.
Okay, so that updated and that amount changed. Okay, fine. All right, let's go back. This we've looked at, that we've looked at, that we've looked at, that we've looked at. SARS we've looked at, that we've looked at, that we've looked at, we've looked at everything else. Okay, so the only thing that we haven't looked at was number 78. What is 78 then? It's another outstanding check.
Yeah.
Okay, it is outstanding in May. Is it outstanding in June? Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so number 78 here.
Oh, we didn't put it in there, gotcha.
Another outstanding check. What was it?
4,000.
4,000. Alright, so now you've done internal records and you've done external records. That's the current balance that I want to see in my bank statement. I see this in my bank statement, which is not correct. Okay, so the last bit is to total here. Okay, I'm going to add up both sides.
Okay.
Okay, sum up the left, sum up the right. Which side's bigger?
When you sum up the right, do you include the 2871?
I add up everything, yeah. Everything on the right, everything on the left.
The
Which side's
right's
bigger? The right's bigger. So I want to see that amount on both sides. Okay, so your balancing figure is balance as per the bank general ledger accounts. Alright, and the balance as per the bank general ledger account will be this minus the debits.
Okay.
And you get that answer. Is it the same?
Oh, makes sense.
Yes, okay, that's the balancing figure.
Okay.
Okay, so what's on this side and what's on that side should balance at the end so that you know you've got them correct.
Okay.
Okay, and that's how you do a bank recon.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.